Welcome to another episode of Trendy with Kim Allison, soon to be renamed Kim's Chair. Okay, you guys, today's conversation is one I've been wanting to have for a long, long time because if you work behind the chair like I do, the salon used to be where people came to release and get rid of the chaos, right? Now, sometimes it feels like we carry the news everywhere we go. And I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Politics, religion, racism, opinions, it's gotten way too intense for me. I mean, fun shade, fun, messy topics, fine, sure enough. But I'll tell you what's not fun is trying to switch between your left and your right brain, trying to create beautiful hair with these intense conversations going on. So when my guest today reached out, I was like, how did you know I needed you? He reached out literally perfect timing because I've been mentally exhausted lately. Like literally I have today, you guys, Tom Hentelman. Did I pronounce your name right, Tom?
Hintelmann, yep.
Hentelman. He practices mental health with a coaching approach. He holds both a master's of science in professional counseling as well as a master's of art in educational leadership. And he is here to talk about the emotional weight of hearing these political conversations behind the chair and how, as beauty professionals, we can protect our own sanity without alienating our clients. So, Tom, are you mentally prepared for today's conversation?
Yeah,
Welcome
Kim,
to the show.
Kim, it's an honor to sit in your chair. Um,
I love it. I love it. So, tell us, Tom, like what is your background? Tell us, because you're here to help. So, tell us all about how you came to be this coach, if you will, for beauty professionals.
yeah, it started probably pre-pandemic. I was going back to school to become a therapist and was working with a stylist by the name of Jasmine Kay from Jasmine Up Salon, and she was trying to build her own brand and get started and everything. And we worked together with men's grooming, and we worked together with training some of her staff. And we saw a real need to work. She's a holistic approach, so she believes in mental and physical and spiritual and emotional health of her staff. And as we started to go through this, I realized that there's definitely a need and a niche for this,
Mm,
that no one is caring for the caregivers. Beauty professionals do so much for other people. Many of them are working moms who are trying to make ends meet, balance family, a
mhm.
very stressful job, and doing such important work. With my clients, I tell them one of the things I tell them when they're feeling down or need a change is go get your hair done, go get your nails done. Self care is not selfish. Jump right in. So
Love
in
it.
in my work through with Jasmine, kind of saw this need and gave me some experience. I had a men's grooming consulting firm, so we kind of did that for a while, and I saw an even bigger need. And when I got my license, I decided that this would be a niche to go check. I work with salons, I work with big brands, I work with small brands, and just try to spread the word of mental health, beauty schools, and cosmetology programs for a healthier, happier workplace for the stylist, the owner, and the customer.
Oh, wow. I mean, who knew that we needed you the way we need you today? Who knew that it would come to this? I feel the last 5 years, at least 5, 6 years, it's just the world is so like vitriol, if you will, in how their approach just to life in general, anything. It's just, we lead with that. That's our new filter, and it's terrible, and we already get taxed behind the chair and we call ourselves therapists, but you're an actual qualified professional in that space. So I'm so happy you're here, and we are going to talk about today specifically something that's been just bothering me as a Gen Xer. We're still watching the news, a lot of and above, right? So my clients have aged along with me, and they're older and some and a lot younger, but the older, whew, they bring it just constantly, right? So I think people underestimate what it's like hearing opposing political opinions back to back all day long. So, Tom, what does that kind of emotional whiplash do to someone mentally?
It can take a heavy duty toll. I mean, I call you guys first line therapists, or probably therapists would be a better word.
I use that word all the time.
And yeah, you guys really catch the brunt of the trauma without necessarily the training. And you have to take into account a lot of different opinions, people talking everything from personal issues to politics to all sorts of current events and things that are going on in the world that can be very heavy. And you figure if you get some sort of trauma dumping, whether it be political, personal, if you take 5 to 10 minutes of that per client, you add that up at the end of the day, that's a lot of minutes. And chances are you're taking a lot more than that. So
100%.
so what's happening is you're carrying all this with you, and it can be extremely stressful. So this is kind of where we see this need coming in. Some of the clients I work with, this is definitely a big problem. So I'm really happy you're bringing it up because it is so important.
Yeah, it really is, and a lot of hairdressers feel trapped in it, as you said. If they speak up, they risk offending someone, but if they stay quiet, and I get this a lot, then you can't bury your head in the sand, you can't turn a blind eye. Like, trust me, sister, I ain't trying to turn a blind eye. I'm just trying to do your hair right now, like honestly. But it's emotionally draining. It truly is. So what's the healthiest in your professional opinion? What's the healthiest middle ground?
Well, I think it's a couple things. One, you're going to get a certain amount regardless. So we want to try to do harm reduction. We want to try to reduce the damage that these conversations are doing. And one thing I think is, especially when you made a very good point about Gen X wanting to be heard, and then also the Boomers on top of them that really want to be heard. They're very opinionated now because a lot of times people aren't listening to them anymore. They're not social media
Mm.
savvy like the younger generations where they're constantly getting everything out online. They still communicate the old fashioned way. So if you've got somebody, and especially as we approach retirement, people tend to discard our opinions more because we're not as active necessarily out in the world, moving and shaking like we used to be. And now, we've settled into our lives and our homes and, whatever. And I think that's why they tend to dump a lot on their stylist, on their nail tech, on their esthetician, and anyone else who'll listen.
Oh my God, you literally like light bulbs were going off in my head thinking you're right. They're disconnected. They don't use the internet to vent the way, the generation before us does. So we are their social media. We're
Hmm.
Threads, we're Twitter, we the stylists. Like, wow, that was eye-opening. Thank you for that. And do you think that it's okay to say I don't want to discuss politics at work because it seems to rub them wrong sometimes and sometimes create more tension.
Yeah, I kind of come into a an idea of the what I call the 3D strategy with my client. Okay, you like 3D,
Okay.
right? So we go 3D.
Yes.
It's an easy way to remember. Okay, deflect, diffuse, and drop it.
Ooh.
So deflect, diffuse, drop it. And what we want to do, sample of that would be client starts giving me views on any political issue you can think of. So I kind of try to deflect off with just simple questions like, oh, that's interesting, or, oh, yeah, I've heard of that, and, whatever, but not respond. As they start to get upset, diffuse. Okay. Well, how does that really affect your life? Why are you so angry about this? Is this somehow making your life better? You want to try to not be accusatory or not diminish their position, but you want to just try to bring the rhetoric level down any way you can. So we want to diffuse, and then we want to drop it. So once an opportunity comes to change topics in the conversation, we do it and we stay there.
Oh
So we
yeah, I've tried. Trust me. Go ahead.
so we deflect, then we try to diffuse if we can't deflect it away, and then we drop it. And if they bring it back, some people will bring it back relentlessly, and sometimes you just have to cut them off. and be firm with them and say, look, I'm here, as you said before, I'm here to do your hair. If you want me to do a good job, I can't be sitting here listening to this because it's affecting the way I concentrate.
It's true, like, your anxiety kicks in and you're like,
Yeah.
"God, you don't understand as a creative, we use a side of our brain that you probably don't. That's why you're here sitting in our chair versus doing your hair yourself."
Hmm.
So, if you want a good outcome, if you want a beautiful outcome, we need 100% of that creative side of us. And then if you wanna, yeah, if you're talking about your personal life and maybe you've lost a loved one, you're going through a divorce. Well, that's a different type of energy than world views.
Hmm.
World views to me feel like 1,000 pounds of weight, you know? So yeah,
And the,
good. The 3Ds.
the problem there is worldviews are connected to identity. And right now we're in identity politics. So if you question somebody's worldview, you threaten their entire identity. And they usually react accordingly. But when people have such political views linked to their identity, you're not going to change them. So that's one of the first things you have to realize is if they got political views different than yours, most likely you will not change them. I wasted so much time and energy on social media early on trying to, even when I had perfectly logical explanations, they had no rational response. Their views still did not change.
It's
So
true.
I said, I gave up trying to do that and just tried to better myself. And when I see those situations, I remind myself, am I benefiting from this? Is this going to benefit me? So if you're behind the chair cutting, you're getting this before you react or try to even shoulder it. You might want to just go quiet and, this isn't benefiting me. Or she says,
Yeah.
well, you know, because it's sapping your energy that you have to give to your next client and the client after and the client after. So if you waste all your energy with one client, what's going to be left for the people later on?
Yeah, and it's true. And some clients take those boundaries personally when you're simply just trying to protect your mental peace. And I don't know how we got here. I really don't. Even when I deflect and I'll say, "So, you said your son was off to college. So, how did that go?" And suddenly, once we get to college, here we are back to politics. I'm like, do all roads lead back here for you? Because they don't for me. So, ugh. No, you unpacked that nicely for us and gave a perfect little formula, the 3Ds. And you're right. People have attached their identities to these beliefs, which is why they're unwilling to hear any other point of view, right or wrong, indifferent, right? You know what still surprises me? How many stylists tell me they've never heard of Virtue Lab products. I found Virtue back in 2017 at a hair show, and I've been hooked ever since. I use it on myself, like this beautiful flourish right here. It's their hair thinning line. There's a full system. There's a shampoo, there's a conditioner, there's a density booster, one that's drug-free, and the other one that has minoxidil in it, which is amazing, you guys. If you haven't tried these products, please do. And it's one of the lines I actually stand behind as a professional. Here's why it's different. Virtue is the only hair care line in the world that uses human-derived keratin called alpha keratin 60Ku. Because it's human derived, your body recognizes it as its own and actually accepts it. We all want products that truly heal and repair hair, right? Not just make it shiny for a day. Virtue does that. It literally fills in the cracks in the damaged areas, strand by strand. So, you guys, trust me. You'll see results after one use, but after 5 washes, honey bunny, the hair will feel like a completely different head of hair. Soft, strong, and actually healthy. So if you're ready to stop masking damage and start repairing it, I know you're ready. Shop Virtue through my link today in the description. Support the show, support your hair. You'll thank me later. Bye. You're carrying a weight now after work when you've had all day of this on certain days. It's not every day. right? It's not every client, but certain days you're like, ugh. What do you recommend that we do to decompress?
I think self care is not selfish. You know, self care is so important. And what self care can look like is different for everybody. So even something as simple as taking a walk. If you have a pet, sitting quietly and, petting your pet or spending time with your pet, or taking your pet for a walk, even better, combine the two. Take your pet, your kid, and yourself for a walk. Okay. But you want to try to one, change environments. Okay. We want to get out of that environment. Number two, leave the scissors at work if you can.
Mm.
Because what happens sometimes to stylists, and many I've come in contact with, is they bring the scissors home and they're cutting everybody's hair, and they've already done a full day of cutting. And now the neighbor wants a haircut, the friend wants a haircut, the mother in law wants a haircut, this one wants a haircut, that one wants a haircut. And, it really erodes that personal space and those boundaries. So I would suggest trying to keep those boundaries very clear. Once you leave work, leave it. It'll be there tomorrow.
Yeah, and what do you do with, and we've been moving outside of politics a little bit. What do you do with those clients that I had a client text me on Mother's Day about her hair, and I thought, "Really?" I mean, Mother's Day. Like the cell phone now is like the bat phone, as you
Yep.
called it earlier. It's a direct line to you at any part of your day.
I shut mine down when I leave. Okay. I'll check it once or twice a day, like morning and night, and that's it. And then anything in between happens in between, unless it's an emergency and we've got an answering service that will refer them to call 911 or, deal with it that way. I don't deal with it till the next day or till Monday.
Oh,
So we
perfect.
because
Eh,
you really can't. And some people get upset, but you're not on call 24/7 for them. Remember, you're in the service industry, but you're not a servant. There's a difference there. You're a highly skilled professional whose time is valuable inside the salon. You're compensated well for it. Why then isn't your time valuable outside the salon? You're not necessarily just paying for you to cut their hair, you're paying for you to be away from your family. You're paying for your expertise, your training, and most importantly, your attention. So that
Yeah.
all comes with a price. And that price should stay within the hours of business. You shouldn't have to go out and carry on outside of business hours. That time should be for your family or it should be for yourself. Too often we see these professionals, they care for everybody else, but how often do they get pampered? And often I see stylists who are highlighting their hair in between appointments or coloring their hair in between appointments. And they're trying to trade services off and on with each other and everything else. But separate yourself even from that from work. I know economically it's not necessarily the most efficient thing, but treat yourself every once in a while. Go get a nice manicure and pedicure. Go get a massage. Go get a facial. Let somebody else care for you and just take that time and that space to decompress. It's so important.
Ooh, I love that. Perfect. And as we wrap, give us more of what you're doing, Tom, for the beauty industry and your business. Tell us all about what you have going on.
Okay, well, I consult with salons on how to build men's business and bring in male clients because if they're missing the male client, they're missing almost 50% of the population. So, especially a struggling salon, guys walk in, guys are really loyal clients and they're good tippers. It's just getting them in the chair that's the problem. Once you get them, they're kind of like luggage. You're stuck with them forever. But you just kind of keep going with them. So I do that. I work with salons in that. I work with salons in helping to avoid stylist burnout, stylist mental health, promoting stylist self care. I work with bigger brands trying to get that message out to their schools or sponsored speaking engagements, things like that. Also, in the process, I'm a mental health therapist, which I do full time, and that is my full time job. And I handle everything basically under the sun, mental health wise, but just have a special niche in the beauty industry and also with men's mental health. So,
Oh my gosh. Like I said, you just appeared in my DMs and I right at this moment and you saw my response. I'm like, "Oh my god, of course. Yes, I have something to discuss with you." 100%. So yeah, thank you for just incorporating the beauty industry into your business and giving it a place, because we never talk about our mental health. You know, it's always we have to just absorb. That's been the culture for many, many years. So we appreciate you, Tom.
No problem. And you can find me at performance underscore mental underscore health on Instagram. You can also find me, my men's grooming business, on at average AVGUY grooming on Instagram. And you can find our practice at care, CAARE, counseling.org. If you want to make an appointment or have a consultation, you contact me either through Instagram or through the practice's website.
Oh my gosh. So little did you know, I am the queen of games. Nobody gets out of here without one of my games, and that includes you.
Okay.
So I have a little rapid fire for you. So I'm going to set my timer for 1 minute. Okay. And then you fire away. Social media, helping mental health or hurting it?
Hurting.
Biggest mistake people make during uncomfortable conversations?
Not facing the truth.
Is silence underrated?
No.
Healthy boundary or avoidance? I don't discuss politics at work.
Healthy boundary.
Which is more exhausting, talking or listening?
Listening.
One thing hairdressers absorb emotionally that people don't realize.
Trauma.
Therapy for everyone? Yes or no?
Yes.
What burns people out faster, conflict or emotional suppression?
Emotional suppression.
Most emotionally intelligent thing someone can say in a disagreement.
I respect that, but
Better for mental health, more honesty or more filtering?
more honesty.
One habit beauty professionals should stop immediately.
Taking their work home with them.
One habit beauty professionals should start immediately.
Self-care.
If a hairdresser leaves work emotionally drained every day, what's that a sign of?
They need therapy.
One sentence every hairdresser needs to hear right now.
You are important, you are loved, you are smart, and you are creative. And you give so much to others, but you have to let others take care of you.
Ooh, mic drop. I love that. Thank you for that. And you know, obviously we went past the time, but I don't care because I love hearing the answer. So I'm going to hit you with 5 more fun ones and then we'll wrap. Ready?
Okay.
Introvert or extrovert?
Extrovert.
Coffee or energy drink?
Energy drink.
Doom scrolling at night? Honest answer, yes or no?
Yes.
What's more stressful, a political argument or bad Wi-Fi?
Bad Wi-Fi.
And lastly, if salons had warning labels, what would they say?
Toxic.
You are absolutely dialed into our industry. I could certainly see that just based on how you answered everything just so beautifully with your level of expertise. And I so appreciate you once again for coming on, and for everyone watching. This is going to be a valuable conversation for you. You can find the show at Trendy with Kim Allison across all of the platforms, or go to my website, kimallison.net. Support the show, subscribe, hit the notification bell, comment, like, do all the things because I want this show to grow. All right, you guys, we'll see you next time. Bye.